What goes wrong with Mercedes cylinder heads? So we're back today with our second video on Mercedes cylinder head issues. Last time we talked about machining errors on Mercedes heads. Today we're going to look at the different ways that these cylinder heads fail, and we're going to discuss how those cylinder heads can be, what's the word I'm looking for, evaluated so that you know where your failure is before the failure occurs. So the first area where you're going to see some trouble on these old inline six-cylinder heads, and by the way, we have with us a 130, 016, 0701 head from an early 280 SE, but these heads were similar in all the old inline six-cylinder gas engines, whether you have an M180 engine or an M129 engine or an M130 engine. But this specific head was in use on the M130 from 1968 into about the summer of 1969. And this is a great head to use as an example because these were heads that Mercedes even had to replace a lot of back in the day, and I think they only gave the technicians something like 3 hours total to change out a head, which is absurdly low. I mean, it's just ridiculous how little time they gave. So these are the valve guides, and what happens in a valve guide is the cylinder, the valve rides up and down in the guide, and as a result, from moving over and over and over and over again at high speeds, these things wear out. Now, originally these guys were brass, and brass is a pretty soft metal, and they were brass because they didn't want the valves to wear abnormally and become fluted. I guess that's a good word. But there are problems with brass guides, not just the fact that they're prone to high rates of wear, but also because they're very prone to changing their size with temperature, and when that happens, they come loose in the head. So instead of the valve stem seal, which would go at the top of the guide, keeping oil out of the cylinder, oil starts to leak in around the guide, goes into the combustion chamber, and you get a bunch of blue smoke. And it becomes especially annoying when it's an exhaust guide, and it happens more often in exhaust guides. Now, why does it happen more often in exhaust guides? Well, because exhaust guides get really freaking hot. That's where all the hot combustion gases from the engine go. They get dumped on top of the exhaust valve. The exhaust valve guide changes temperature a lot. That's when it can loosen up in the head. You know, and sometimes it shrinks and expands and shrinks and expands so many times that it permanently shrinks and wears out the bore. So the valve guide bore sometimes has to be cleaned up and an oversized guide installed in the hole. Now, when you start getting oil here, then when the spark plug goes off, it'll burn it and you'll get a cloud of blue smoke. And we see this sort of behavior pretty often on worn out M130 engines, not because of piston ring and cylinder wear, but because valve guides come loose. And of course, there's a way to deal with these problems. Let's talk about the solution. So the valve guides, first of all, used to be installed by heating up the head and freezing the guide. The temperature differential would allow the valve guide to expand into the hole as it warmed up, and the head would be hot, so the theory was that the holes would be bigger. We found that sometimes, though, they don't return to their normal sizes, either one, the guide or the valve. So we've determined in this day and age that putting a guide in cold with the head hot is not a good idea. And that's why so many guides would come loose on early six-cylinder and even Mercedes V8 engines. However, not the diesels. So keep that in mind. The diesels do not have this problem. So what we learn now is that A, you install the valve guides at room temperature, but you also have to use a different kind of guide. The guides we use today are made of bronze, actually silicon impregnated bronze. So not only are they slippery so the valve doesn't wear out, but they're very hard and they last for a really long time. And that's how you cure valve guide wear and valve guide failure. Just use a high quality oil, because that little bit of oil that gets onto the valve stem does need to lubricate it. And don't tumble the valves. Don't use an abrasive to clean them up, because guess what will happen? If you use an abrasive to clean them up, then they will become bumpy, and the bumps will wear out the center of the guide. Let's talk about another problem. Second problem is coolant corrosion. So this head is not super corroded, but if you look right here, you can see evidence of the fire ring where the head gasket went. And the biggest detriment to these engines is when these little holes, which often become occluded with sediment, start to wear out, and then the coolant stays trapped in there and becomes corrosive and begins to eat through the cylinder head. It will eat up the aluminum head, and this is why you have to change coolant regularly. It'll eat through the head, and then the cylinder head will disintegrate around this fire ring, and you'll start getting water into the combustion chamber, which is right about here. Is right here. As soon as water crosses over this ridge and gets into the combustion chamber, then it will start to burn coolant. And the two signs of burning coolant are, number one, a rough, hot start, and then it clears itself up as the coolant burns off, because coolant is not exactly combustible unless you're at very high temperatures and very high pressures. Then number two, you'll see that the spark plug is extremely clean compared to the rest of the plugs, because coolant has a cleaning effect. And then last but not least, the most important thing that we've observed is that the cooling system will start to lose coolant through a mystery leak, and sometimes you'll even get white smoke. Having water, though, in your exhaust when you start the car and it's very cold, it's been sitting for a while, does not mean coolant is getting in there. So I want you to know that. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Again, this is not for the average person who just buys a 108 and slams it down with airbags and garbage wheels that they bought on Amazon. This is for the sophisticated Mercedes-Benz enthusiast who expects their car to run like it's supposed to. You know, and I know these sound like complicated problems, but they're actually not. They're problems that can be solved with a methodical approach, where you research the parts you're going to need, you find a good machinist, and you take the whole things apart. They're not quick and easy problems to solve. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you share it with somebody who's into classic Mercedes. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please think about it, you know, because there's a lot of great information here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Excellent.